Her voice trembled. Not from fear, from gratitude. And most importantly, I want to thank the man who believed in me before anyone else. My real partner. The auditorium erupted. Applause, cameras flashing, sponsors smiling. I didn't move, didn't blink, didn't breathe. Real partner, not husband, not me. I watched her on that stage, draped in silver, glowing beneath white lights, holding the award I funded into existence, and she looked into the crowd, past me, through me, to him. He stood near the back. Dark suit, too comfortable, too proud. He didn't clap, he just nodded, like an investor approving a return. Something inside my chest shifted. Not pain, not heartbreak, alignment. I stood slowly. No one noticed. They were too busy celebrating her truth. My phone vibrated as I reached the exit. Unknown number. I ignored it. The cold night air met me like an accomplice. The phone vibrated again and again. Then her name flashed across the screen. I declined. Before I could pocket it, her phone lit up too. She had left it on the table near the stage stairs. Careless or distracted. The screen glowed in the darkness. CEO, urgent. I shouldn't have looked. But I did. Message preview. Major sponsor pulled out. Immediate damage control needed. It's your husband's company. What did you do? I stared at it, expressionless. Then I smiled. Not because I was surprised, but because timing is everything. You see, betrayal doesn't begin on stage. It begins in whispers. Late-night strategy meetings, sudden privacy screens, a password change, small details, tiny fractures. I had been watching the cracks form for months. She thought she was careful, deleting messages, taking calls in the bathroom with the fan running, saving his number under a woman's name. Amateur mistakes. I never confronted her. I never asked questions. I never accused. I observed, like a scientist documenting decay. Because love, when it rots, has a smell, and ours had been decomposing quietly. At first, I blamed stress. Her startup was growing fast. Investors were circling, media attention rising. I funded the first prototype, mortgaged my father's house to keep her afloat when no one believed in her. She used to cry into my chest, call me her anchor, her safe place, her only partner. Now she stood on stage thanking someone else. Publicly, deliberately, I replayed the moment in my head. The way her eyes softened when she looked at him. The pause before she said, real. That word wasn't accidental. It was chosen, surgical, a message hidden in applause. And I finally understood something simple. She wasn't hiding him anymore. She was replacing me. The sponsor mentioned in that message? My company. The one that signed the largest marketing contract with her firm 6 months ago. The one that quietly controlled 40% of her projected revenue this year. She didn't know the board meeting happened this morning. She didn't know I voted alone. She didn't know I had already signed the withdrawal letter before she stepped on that stage. Because betrayal deserves timing. And tonight, she handed me the perfect stage. I glanced back through the auditorium doors. She was still smiling, still glowing, still unaware. Her phone buzzed again on the table. This time she noticed. She picked it up. Read the message. And I watched her face change. Not dramatically, just slightly. The smile stiffened. The eyes flickered. A crack! Applause still thundered around her. But she had just realized something was wrong. She scanned the room, looking for me. I was already walking away. Slow steps. Measured. Controlled. For months, I wondered if I was paranoid. If I was insecure? If I was imagining the late nights? The emotional distance. The subtle contempt in her tone when she corrected me in public. Now I knew. And knowledge is calming. I didn't go home that night. I went to my office. Top floor, glass walls, city lights bleeding through the dark like distant fires. I poured myself a drink. Didn't touch it. Instead, I opened my laptop and replayed the footage from the event's live stream. Frame by frame. Her expression when she said it. My real partner. Not nervous. Not confused. Intentional. That word was a severing blade. And I respect precision. I leaned back and let the memories line up like evidence on a board. 3 months ago, she started guarding her phone differently. 2 months ago, She insisted on restructuring equity shares in her company. 6 weeks ago, she introduced him to the board as a strategic consultant. Strategic. He wasn't a consultant. He was the CEO of the media firm pushing her brand into every headline. Married, public figure, reputation obsessed. And suddenly, invested in her success, I hired a private firm the day she changed her password. Not because I was jealous, because I don't tolerate uncertainty. Phone logs, travel records, private dining reservations under aliases. A hotel suite booked during a conference she claimed I was too busy to attend. They were careful. But patterns don't lie. People do. The investigator sent me the full report 2 weeks ago. Photos. Messages recovered from cloud backups she didn't know existed. Voice recordings. The way she laughed with him. Softer than she ever laughed with me. The way she told him, "He'll never suspect. He worships me." That one almost made me smile. Worship. No. I invested. There's a difference. I didn't confront her. I didn't explode. I accelerated. The largest sponsor of her expansion campaign? My company. Signed under a subsidiary so she wouldn't notice the connection. When the contract renewed last quarter, I added a clause. Morality breach. Public reputation risk. Board discretion withdrawal. Clean. Legal. Silent. This morning, before her award ceremony, I called an emergency board meeting. I presented the evidence, not as a betrayed husband, as a CEO protecting brand integrity. No emotion, just facts. Projected revenue risk, potential scandal, investor panic. They voted unanimously. Withdraw funding immediately and notify all partner firms of strategic reallocation, like dominoes. Controlled. Predictable. The CEO who texted her tonight? He didn't know the withdrawal was coming. He thought their little alliance was untouchable. He thought proximity to her momentum protected him. He forgot one thing. I built the foundation. You remove the foundation. Everything collapses quietly. My phone buzzed. Her name again. I let it ring. Then a message. Where are you? We need to talk. Need. Interesting word. Another message. Did you pull the sponsorship? No greeting. No confusion. Straight to the wound. I replied with 2 words. Congratulations tonight. 3 dots appeared instantly, then disappeared, then appeared again. I imagined her breathing changing, the room emptying around her, her real partner probably whispering reassurance. He wouldn't know yet. Men like him don't anticipate consequences. They assume control. I stood and walked to the window. Down below, traffic flowed like veins in a living organism. I wasn't angry. That's the strange part. Anger is chaotic. I felt clarified. For months, I questioned my instincts. Tonight, she confirmed them publicly. She didn't just cheat. She rewrote history. Erased me in front of cameras. That requires confidence. Confidence requires safety. She believed she was safe. Another message came through. This time longer. If this is about the speech, you're overreacting. It was symbolic. You know what you mean to me. Symbolic. I read that twice. Then I opened the final document on my desktop. Divorce papers. Prepared last week. Property separation already filed. Assets protected months ago. She loved strategy. She married one. I finally responded. Come home. We'll talk. Short. Neutral. Controlled. Because the truth isn't revealed in public. It's delivered in silence. And I wanted to see her eyes when she realized I wasn't reacting. I was finishing. She came home after midnight. No makeup. No silver dress. Just exhaustion wrapped in expensive fabric. I was sitting in the living room. Lights off. Only the city glow slipping through the blinds. She stopped when she saw me. You're not answering my calls. Her voice was steady. Practiced. I gestured to the chair across from me. Sit. A pause. A calculation behind her eyes. Then she sat. Careful. Defensive. The sponsor pulled out, she said. 40% of projected revenue. The board is panicking. The CEO is blaming me. I nodded once. Silence stretches people. Makes them feel it. She leaned forward. Did you do this? I looked at her the way you look at a stranger asking for directions. Yes. No anger. No tremor. Just confirmation. Her jaw tightened. Because of the speech? I almost admired her restraint. No, I said. Because of the affair. There it was. The word landed between us like a body. Her pupils shifted. A microscopic dilation. Fear. I don't know what you think you know. I slid a folder across the table. Thick. Organized. Tabbed. Photos first. Hotel lobby. Private suite. His hand at her waist. Then printed messages. Highlighted sentences. He worships me. He'll never suspect. Once the next funding round clears, I won't need him involved anymore. She didn't touch the papers. She stared at them as if proximity could incriminate her. This is insane, she whispered. No, I said softly. It's documented. Silence again. But this one was different. Heavy. Her breathing changed. Not crying. Not yet. Calculating damage. You destroyed my company, she said finally. Over something personal. I leaned back. No, I corrected. I protected mine. That's when the mask slipped. You think you can ruin me and walk away clean? She snapped. I built that brand. I earned that stage. You built it, I agreed. On capital you didn't acknowledge. Her lips parted. No response. I let the next sentence fall slowly. The board has already been notified. So have your secondary partners. Morality clause. Reputational risk. They don't like scandals. Her face strained. You wouldn't. I did. The room felt smaller now. For her. You're punishing me, she said. No, I replied. I'm removing myself. I stood and walked to the hallway table. Picked up another envelope. Placed it in front of her. She hesitated this time before touching it. Divorce papers. Pre-signed. Asset separation finalized weeks ago. You planned this, she said. Yes. Her composure cracked then. Not dramatically. Just enough. After everything. You're throwing us away? I looked at her carefully. There hasn't been an us for months. She laughed once. Broken. You could have talked to me. I did, I said. You just answered someone else. That one hurt her. I saw it. Because it was true. Her phone buzzed in her hand. She looked down automatically. Him. Calling. I watched her hesitate. Then decline. Interesting. Too late. You think he'll save you? I asked quietly. She didn't respond. Because we both knew he wouldn't. Men like him survive by detaching. Just like I did. I never meant to erase you, she said finally. But you did. A long silence settled between us. No screaming. No shattered glass. Just consequences breathing in the dark. I picked up my coat. She looked up quickly. Where are you going? Out. For how long? I considered that. Then answered honestly. Long enough. I walked to the door, hand on the handle. She spoke one last time. You still love me. I didn't turn around. Love isn't the problem, I said. Respect was. And then I left. The hallway felt colder than the night of the ceremony, but lighter. Behind me, a brand was collapsing. A partnership exposed. A woman realizing too late that strategy works both ways. I didn't ruin her. I revealed her. There's a difference. People think revenge is loud. It isn't. It's paperwork. Timing. Silence. By morning, the news cycle would start asking questions. By next week, investors would distance themselves. By next month, she would understand what it costs to publicly replace someone who built your foundation. As for me, I didn't feel victorious. I felt precise. She thanked her real partner on stage, and I thanked her for the clarity. Because sometimes the greatest power isn't holding on. It's letting go without flinching. And I never flinched twice.